I grew up in the city, and my dad was a lawyer, and he practiced with another lawyer who loved farming the same way, and his wife hated it too. The Crumboltzes, did you remember them?
Sure.
And so my mother and what was her name? Anyway, Mrs. Crumboltz, used to compare notes, and they said, well, we're just urban farmers. Because the husbands would always scatter when they could, to the outdoors. But we did spend a lot of time. For May basket time, for instance, we could go out and pick whatever flowers might be growing at the time, and they differ because the weather does bring them out different times. There used to be a stable right before the bridge that you went to go across Indian Creek to get to the center. And friends of mine liked to go there to ride, and Dad had 2 horses on the farm. And I rode them, not together, but so what I would do is Dad would let me drive the car, and I'd take my friends and drop them off at the stable. Then I'd go out to the field, get a horse, saddle it up, put on the reins and whatnot. And by the time they came around, I was ready to ride with them. So we'd ride our horses. And then, of course, I'd stop first and they'd go on. And by that time, I'd taken care of what I needed to do about the horse. And so then I'd pick them up and we'd come back to town. But those horses, we didn't realize at first, were racing horses. When you pull on the reins, they go faster. And of course, not knowing that, you're always thinking about, come on, let's stop. So, the fact that they built a wonderful new building with all the new situations they could come up with, and they have thoroughly worked it out. It isn't as though they just did one thing, just build a building. No, they knew the solar problems, they knew how to do water, they knew how to do electricity, and they've made use of that building to educate as well as a place people could gather and enjoy. I think some of the examples that the Indian Creek nature are showing lead other people to do the same, either environmentally, like solar work, or how best to use your land, and just examples, and having people out there seeing that what can be done is educational. And of course, I'm long and strong on that. Well, I think they're doing this new program of preschools and all, which add a lot to the opportunity of introducing children to nature, and that's basically a wise thing to do. So I'm thrilled with that. I have to say I like it all. That's my problem of coming up with certain things. I think just being outside during the daytime. I do not do as many trails. If I were younger, I'd be doing them. But at age 97, you don't exactly walk them in the woods without having to have support of some kind, and that's not really walking as far as I'm concerned. So I have to say I've given up a lot of things that I would like to be doing. Mm-hmm. But I know they're there, and I strongly tell other people that it's a fun place to go. Try it out. Oh, I just hope they'll continue to go and participate as much as they can and get their families to go out to, again, enjoy the outdoors, learn a little more about nature, and what can be done in this day and age to preserve it.